Greetings, and peace in Islam. Today we're going to discuss, I'll try to reiterate and explain some of the stuff that we talked about in the first 3 videos. This might be the last one. Try to get through it fast. It's going to be mostly pictures. It's going to be trying to explain basically how you fit in this earthly empire, past and present, with different pieces of evidence. So like here we're talking about getting from Europe to sub-Saharan Africa. That's a tough task coming from Europe. So you'd be better off hitting right here first and then going across. That's how the currents, based on how the currents go in a circle like this. That's what we were talking about in the last video. In Louisiana, New Orleans. Fort Musa. These are some more malls who've been flying the British Jack, like the malls at Fort Negro. And these ones, when you see the ones like this that they attribute to the Portuguese, most likely that's from more in America, Moorish American. Like this one, definitely from Don Sebastian, D. Sebastian. So you already know he just been a king that we kidnapped in the War of the Guadalquivir. So you know he ain't bullish, but innocent American, they call it this. Oh, it's the one on the island of Sao Tome. Let's look that up. The Fort of San Sebastian. Let me see. Well, it might be overseas. Yeah, a good bit of them, so. No, that's Bizzo. The first one. Yeah, I think that's the one too. As you can see, these stories we were reading in the last video panning out because these old forts everywhere. The forts don't build itself, and they for decoration. You see a heat map of pyramids and other structures, which is city-states. It's populations live around these, and they still live today. So we see a heat map of the population of the planet. It look just like the population of the heat map of where the pyramids at. The people still around these. So it's showing you ancient city-states that humanity benefiting and live on top of. Like I said, they might have built skyscrapers and houses and stuff around this ancient empire already been here. That's why we don't let them give us a beginning when we come here 16, 19. Don't give us a date because you're trying to hide something. These ain't built itself. And nobody claim they'll put them on the episode of Ancient Alien before they give them to a claim in Rome. But in our world, we claim them. I ain't got proof. Also on this heat map, we can see the Kingdom of Fez in Morocco and America. Both is the only place populated, really. That's how it been. They say all the more's been on the coast and where all the rivers at. So you see what we call a Mexim or Mazagan, that big river structure that go into all the seats of the empire been there. People still live everywhere from that old world. Everybody benefit. That's why they didn't want you to be that. Right there. From the new Kingdom of Fez. I mean the new city of Village of Fez, right? But you know they take off the Fez, but you can still find Villanova around here somewhere, what you most likely what a new city of Fez is, because Villanova means new city or new village. They used to call them village back then. So the new Village of Fez, they just take off the Fez and keep it in the Villanova. I find it the other day. I'm looking right now, but we see the Mazagal and the new and the old Mazagal. So this represent that area that mean the Moroccan government. I make some Al Mazagan. Everywhere you got a land of God or Morocco, you have these biblical names like Bethlehem, and Ananin there, goddess of Ananin, and Mos, Mosquero, the island of the Mos, Mosquero. The Yubim over here too, Ludim. Yubim. That's been the Ottaguam next to Guinea. So that's what we're doing in this video. We're just going over explaining further. That's been Mauritania or Morocco, the land of God, or the land of Moors. That's been the Kingdom of Fez in 1430. All the way out to Mexico, the Kingdom of Fez. And it's just talking about the Spanish records and our records that's true, and some more stuff. Like all the system around the whole continent. That's why he called America. But this way he's showing that this is an ancient empire, not just a bunch of pyramids scattered around us in the same spots where people were. After Mississippi was another structure that we set up our kingdom, city-states up and down this river. Water is important. The lakes, all this, we set up stuff out there, Detroit and all that. The Gulf states, that's why we stole in the Gulf. We ain't never give up the Gulf states or the eastern seaboard. We're coastal elites, L-lights. That's why we still here. Regardless of what state we're in, all this evidence is showing. Right? They can build atomic bombs and destroy the whole planet if they want. That ain't gonna not mean the history ain't true because something changed. I changed the landscape or the situation politically. The kingdom of Pakaka and the current Mora Canton. I know Mora means Moorish woman. That's Costa Rica. But I'll take you all the way around the world and back and forth. We talked about this. You can find your history in these myths, legends, festivals, stuff like that. Like this. The Cape Porter. It's a legend in Brazil and America. So you know that's some old stuff. Be a legend in America because America was supposed to be the youngest continent, right? Based off what they allegedly say Amen discovered. So if you are a legend from here, you going back before that date. Say old as hell. You say have been used to describe the slaves who have been escaping to the forest too. Right. What else they say? Say it's an entity of the Tupi-Guarani mythology in Brazil. So the natives there got this. They say inhabitant of the forest. Right, you got it. Represented as a dark-skinned, small Native American naked with a very long red man, smoking a cigar and very mischievous. So even in the mythology, you saw all that the mythologies got something to do with more. Like the Meru, the Basque mythology. They were the giants who bowed dolmens and harrisbills. They associated with Lamia. Maria could means more in Basque. Is a term used in the sense of a non-Christian. The origin of the Mara was thought to be as old as the Moros and Cantilos. We talk about that in another video. Or pre-Roman deities. And Queen More or Princess More. When you go to Wikipedia, switch the language and go looking around. And they say Queen More or Princess More from the Andalusian times and Spain and all this be equivalent to fairies, magi's, and spirits. So we got Kauti Timok, which I just think is a Kushite more. Guatimoki, Spanish, Guati. But you know that's a re-rendering, but the Moorish type structure in the background stands out. Of these people just showing up, meeting these people, and these people supposed to be written out as savages, and they had no technology and no science, and they have to be civilized. And what are people at who bullies? You ain't meeting these people around the corner somewhere. But the people who run the land and doing everything and bore all the structures, they ain't even know what's going on. They ain't got nothing to do with that. Y'all little meetings. You see, they got the Aztec-like architecture right there. That we consider be Native American, but not these. You consider this to be Moroccan, Barcelona or some shit. Well, that's a real depiction of Timor. That way probably was Timor. Timor. Yeah, I'm about to see this to throw you off. Kush Timor. You know, got that red cape gang. Got this white general. And you see the Moors, just like the ancient Berber tribes in North Africa, who had the animals, which they try to make them look like there's a pre-religion for indigenous tribes, like all over. They always call them the animals, but what that's true, we see snake worship, we see bird worship, we see fish worship. In the ancient world, that's what we see. Everywhere we see animal worship. So if you try to make them like that's they try to make them look like they behind or they lacking in the religion, but they using the same old things that we see on the walls of Egypt. So that's the ancient empire of Egypt era. They still bringing in those old ways and stuff from those times. Yeah, still got little animal stuff. The bird. We see this on the walls of the Mayas. And jaguar. These wall suits. Most likely like him, he got that gold crown like the Peru. He's a Cheech and Makin, but that's supposed to be a real older depiction for him. Yeah, man, with the red cape and the so-called meeting. But you see, they on the seas. These ships and shit. Flags that look like the red flag with the gold crescent. Let me see the Spanish. So right here, and you see his name, the one who speaks. So in the hieroglyphic, it'll be an owl and a mouth, and the heat on the walls. The one who give commands, the Amir. A ruler, king, the one who give commands, the one who utters the mouth. That's how it's translated, but you know, you gotta make sense of it. So he's just saying Amir, our mother, one who give commands, our master. It can become a lot of things, like I changing the different words by keeping the hour in the mouth, the M and the aura. So the island of Taboca, Panama. Old Panama. And they be taking these over. They call it convert from a mosque or a temple to a church. Minarets. Old Panama. Henry Morgan. You can see astronomical windows for astronomical observation. You know, so we're talking about rescate, or the rescues. It's a ransom room in Cajamarca. And this, well, you can find in these stories when they talk about the rescues, they go and look for ransoms. Today, call it going to jail and getting bail. Get your family to give you bail, and they always had want to capture Moors because they had the money or the gold or the means to pay. The Moor societies of Mindanao and Sulu, see in 1901, William Taft. So the United States, we trying to act, they can act all day with you like they don't know what's going on, but they know. And you see, Sulu was like the Inca Empire. Like I've been telling you, the Sultanates. They just ain't telling you on the Wikipedia page. Four Zulus make up the empire. Suyu, Tawantin Suyu, and that'll make sense because they on the Pacific. They had more affinity with the Moors on that other side, the Asia, Southeast Asia, Australia, and all those other kingdoms, all the way up to Russia and the so-called Turkic tribes out there coming all the way back down Cali and around the Pacific side. You see the four Suyu. So they trying to say Suyu means region or province, but that's well south and it is. It's a place where it's governed or caliphate. It's a government system, like a maxim or a Mazagon. So they call these Suyus. Tawantin Suyu. This Jamal Ul. You see how L, Al, Il, I with a I-L. Sometimes you see it with O-L and the A-L. We can't get over my head, but now you got a U-L. See? Salt. Sharif. They ain't got no problem telling you about the Moorish Empire in Southeast Asia and Wikipedia. They just don't tell you about it in America. They go out their way not to tell you about it in America. The closest they would is talking about Maroons. Or modern day, they're talking about Noble Charlie in Moorish America. Yeah, I have a page. Stuff like this. Torregon, remember these right here? We find this going all the way back to Egypt and going wherever you see the Moors going on the world, you find these things. Mausoleums type thing. We see one in New Orleans as a cemetery. These are the same things. See, a Sultan, or they use the term Datu, but that's still the same people. Interchangeable. All over Maranao. You ain't know we got a Marawi city. You ain't know we got a Maranao River. The Maranao people. And blackface. So you got the Maranao, the Moorish, and you got the Melanau, the blacks, because that's what that means. So the Jesuits might get to somebody over there. They're still predominantly Muslim people of the lake. They got a Dara. They got Daria. Dara in Morocco. Now you got a Daringen over here. Something out with that term. Sama, like Zama. And that word Zambo, they use that over there to mean Moors, or people who moor ships. That's how they understand another term. But that's just evidence to this empire going all the way over there. Right here, a mooring place is a Sinama. Term for a mooring place. And the Sambong is mooring pole. Like we were saying in that last video, sometimes you see people looking, especially in America, architectural terms, and they'll be the same as terms that people use for noble titles. The Yakan people, and they are Sulu too, Sultanate. They're considered one of the 13 moral groups. And you see with the red band across, they just like we've been talking about showing the red band. The Mardi Care people. See that MR? These the people who set up everything. Bullock Kingdom, the Empire, where we show you that heat map with everybody at the day living in city structures and stuff like that. But they're gonna try to act like these the people who been foreign to these places, try to make it look like they come to these places because you see them with clothes on and shit, fine soap, and they rich. So they're gonna reconstruct their history. See, same as they do us over here. They dark skin, so they gotta put that in there that disinherit them. But yet they the ones who buy up all the cities and shit though. They say they're mostly Christian. These are the same Muslims all over the place. And the airports, city states, trading with the Eastern world and the Western world. I'm told they started going to war with Europe and they messed that up. Baringway government, Philippines, and Sultans and stuff. Datu again, Timaway, see that, and Maralika. It's the Maralikas. And you see that same where they turban and Guadalupe, same type of way, tied the same way. And you see they Zamboanga too, modern people. And the president of the Philippines, I want to change it to Maralika from Philippines because he knows he's a more not a Christian. He knows it, man. But, you know, he ain't got enough for his people, namely the Africans and us, in position for him to do stuff like that without the boy messing with him. The United Nations, you already know that's wrong. But it really us though, because we got our Europeans running wild in the world. So-called United States citizens. It's this picture from Mexico. They call him, of course, a black Mexican boy. But look how he dressing fine, so I ain't smoking. You already know that allegory for the smoking more. The benediction. They come to bother these people. Knights of Christ. I think Venezuela. Wow, man. That's just like the scene from The Purge. When The Purge began, the Knights of Christ going straight to the black church. Out of the first place they gone. And the reason for that, because they always gotta go kill the Mir Mamolian. And I got a series talking about that. And another video I show you, they had milicias negros in the Yucatan. Now you see a milicias blancos, white militiamen of the Yucatan. Got the black and the white militiamen, so you can see how Rome play. They play against white and black people. So just always look at them. Always keep an eye on Rome, because that's the chess board. If you're on the board, you can't see, so you gotta get off the board and look from the top down with him. If you see how he play the game, you'll be able to don't let nothing get over your head. you see white and black people at, most likely you're even dealing with a Spanish colony or English colony, or basically you just dealing with Rome when I get there. Peruvian opera singer, and they been praising her Peruvian fashion. But we look like the Andalusian, Moroccan, Tunisian, Egyptian, Moabite, Canaanites, because Native American. But we see this all over Africa too. West Africa, North Africa, East, and of course Moroccan. But when you go look up her history and look up her story stuff, everybody praised her for her Peruvian fashion. So, showing you Circle 7, chapter 47. Read it. So we can go a little faster. There's going to be a bunch of stuff around the world. Around the world, you can see you and history. Been down with the Saints. The floor. The floor most likely going back to the Atlanteans. We see Queen T with the lotus. You see the Mayans with the lotus, the woman holding the lotus flower, la flor, and it come in our times as the worship of the flower. See, in Veracruz, Maryland, Mary, mother and child. Mary and mother and child. It's another reason why, if even in Rome, Maryland, the jurisdiction still belongs to her, the Moorish woman. It's called Maryland, and the Mary they're talking about is the Virgin Mary, Virginia, Maryland. And at Rome, this is how Virginia, Maryland look. And this is a Moorish princess. So now it makes sense why America was a term that means a mare, Moorish prince, under a feminine word, Ika, instead of Americus, masculine, America, feminine, Moorish princess. Modern day, same issue. Maryland, it's her land. Olmec King, you see the X. We think this is the Spanish flag, but I understand Spain been ruled by most for 700 years and Portugal. So it ain't nothing Spanish or Portugal. It might be a Moorish version that they bastardized, but it's still, that's what that is. Up in Moorish that they bastardized, they ain't Spanish. And you gotta look like an Egyptian thing on too. So you see. ancient Canaanites. We see stuff like this, and I can't remember what parts of America, but they got the same type of headgear and everything, and these little palm tree thing. And you can see them with it too. It's the Palmyrene Temple of Bel in Dura Europus. See the building in the back structure. You see that in America. You're going to see it in America in the old building. Same columns. What they call the Moorish capital. Chaldeans. Like praising Allah and cut off the boy. Like he probably had on an Egyptian crown or something. They probably ain't like that. Let me see the Moke or the Musa tribe in America. Another one. Now you see the artwork and the paint, right? That's why we say Etruria, ancient Etruria, that had both sides of the Mediterranean over here with a Gulf, and the Mediterranean on the other side. And you can see in a little while the same type of painting on the faces and the stuff. Are you seeing with his turban face? That's what we be saying. These later ones who the most came from beyond the sea, and going into in that narrative. And like we said earlier, we see the Moors with the full body suit, war animal skin suits. You can see his face inside it. And early America, that one right there. Got a little afro. See this one, turban. Look at her looking in the mirror. Like I already got cloth and shit. And you see those like this, like we gonna see later on a Moorish woman in Brazil. You know, she got a lot of silk, different cloth. We probably had different people in America. Like some of us we've been probably go further along in the world. And she got that red band. Makeup, look like she got on makeup. Back then, I guess she looking in the mirror getting jazzy. Jewelry around her neck. Panama, El Cano, the personal treasure of a chief. Gold. And they know how to use the metal work. They got a cross and everything. And that's the Berber cross. Yeah, They say a seahorse dealing with the sea. Kingdom of Funan. You know, they got the feds on. I ain't got no Egyptian. All the most ancient world used to dress with that long. We're going to look at that too. Shah Jahan Begum, let's see, off both piles. And you see she as a Begum, feminine. And a sign like Peru. (1838 to 1901), she Sir Mir, using the Amara. Part of Mirwari clan. In Pakistan, Madhya Pradesh. That's India somewhere. In Cambodia, America. Just keeping up where we going. In Chaldea, India, Mahar, and they always got that curved sword. Memories of Barbour. Barbour now works as a great-great-great-grandson of Timur. Sahir Rudin Muhammad Barbour. So we at Samarkand, northern India. You know, gold. The Maria goddess. Maria, ancient India. Maria, look like a Mauritanian artifact. Carthaginian. Samudrupta. The Maruts, ancient Hindu storm deities. Marichi, a rishi, the son of Brahma. Lord Mahavira, water temple, Mandir. Everything dealing with MR. So it's just trying to show you more, ain't no different. Don't try to make people define things for you. Avera. A coin of Juba the First came to Numidia. We jumped into Numidia, North Africa. But you should know that this king of Numidia already had kingdoms on both sides of the Atlantic. Those are ancient empires, just like chapter 47 say. So that's our history. And look at the so-called Roman type architecture. They're trying to call it Roman in America, but I be trying to tell them it's Mauritanian. Numidian. And when you look at this Numidian coin, you can see that the depiction of the Canaanites look the same as them. So you can connect those things yourself. A lot of scholars don't even know how to connect history like that. Cyrenian, to be Cyrenian or Libya, King Archelaus of the Greek Bactrian dynasty. So we're talking about Etruria again. So you know this what you're talking about. They're on both sides of the Atlantic. They fishermen, they sea travelers, they the Phoenicians. So I put this in this short. She asked me about Greek. If the Moors are Greek, are the Greeks? How that work out? So I showing it us so you can see he got the same hat as Numidians, Mauritanians, Phoenicians. You're on a ship. And like they dealing with marketing, trade. So you got the skill and something. See him in Rome. Yeah, feathers. The plume feathers, noble in Morocco or Mauritania. The Bocati tomb in Tarquinia. We just call it. We don't say Moors been Greeks or Moors been Romans or Moors. We call them the Mediterranean world. They rule the Mediterranean world. Set that up. And the Cretans, so-called Greeks, depicted on the tombs of Egypt. You see the lotus. And they also wear like an animal skin. Jaguar. Same thing like the Cambodia. And they come to pay tribute to the kings of Egypt. Mediterranean, so-called Greek world. A woman and child. And Phoenix, Phoenician. And Protector. That's why they had them when they sponsor On the European ships, we'll get to that later. We'll go all the way to Europe. We ain't gonna leave no part of the planet unturned tonight. Man wearing skins from the Palace of Pylos, Greek. Roman bronze. Germanic Gaul mercenaries. So that's ancient to France area. I can't remember what it was at, but I think that's Italy, Rome. And they had animals even on their shield. Bird, more animals. So they gotta realize they still dealing with that, even no matter if we dealing with Christianity or modern day Islam. They all come from the old world. They ain't nothing new under the sun. They're the Black Knights of Christ. And it's the Bond League. So they ain't about money, they ain't about trade and commerce. That's what league is. Let's check them out. Trading guild. Ran all over Europe. Trade routes. And they call themselves the Egyptian Saints. Look how I changed them boy, put you out. Let's see, Maurice though. So that's probably ain't what you're looking for. That's why you're looking for the Bond Trading Guild. Might be under another name. The Bond Spartan War. Look like some more Greek Moorish. Yep. Yeah, that must have been the high priest of Amun. Them boy been in Europe rapping. So it is the Bond Legion because they talking about Saint Maurice, and that's what they've been talking about them. And they've been under the Saint Maurice thing. But I think they're Germany or France. That is France. Paris, France. Gertrudis of Saxony. See that right there? We see that on the Montezuma, and we see that on the Moorish king of the Orient of the Americas. And I think that's the Phoenician thing that we see that all over West Africa, the same type of diamond thing right there. That's some of us look at her headdress. I probably gonna read this if we ain't had that old English spellings. Curved sword. and that's the headdress, like we see the King of Florida. We see a couple like the King of Fez. And you already know you can find tons of this in Byzantium history. I don't know where they got a little man. And them boy chilling. The castles. You see the people down named Moors. And on the seas. Like we say, on the coastlines and the seas, near the rivers. The Nile, up and down the Nile, Nubia. And Shinar, ancient Shinar, that big rubbish in India. We call the Indus. Guadalquivir and the Ebro, the Niger, the Mississippi, the Marathon, and the Amazon. That's where you can find our kingdom and every coastline around the place. Can't make out who that is, but you see Francis. My mother and child. They putting the crown on. You ever had dark-skinned people in Europe with blonde hair or blue eyes and stuff like that too? Go right or wrong and get all the stuff. They got it. That's all any any history you get comes from people in your time period. They ain't got no time machine just like you, so either they make it up or not, or ask them where they get that from so you can see the document or whatever evidence that they got that they make the story up from. Don't just let nobody tell you nothing. So it don't matter how much degrees he got in history or whatever, he ain't no different from you. You can look yourself at the evidence and formulate the story. That's all they doing. They just translating stuff for you, interpreting things for you, and then that become a dangerous thing if you ain't doing it for yourself, because people will paint over that motherfucker. Repaint that motherfucker for you, then you never know. But you see structures in the background, like Roman society. Queen Charlotte. Charlotta. She been jeweled up. They claim not to know who this is, but we think this is Carlos V. All the malls back there. How they get baptized look like. But you see all your history in Rome. The history that they will give you, if you don't go give yourself, is gonna be the you come from you come from Sub-Saharan Africa. That's it. They ain't gonna never go check and see nothing. That's just an automatic story for you because you dark skinned. And Bolton's in the back too. You know, Moore's like him. He even called herself Moore. And cause El Moro. Medici. And it's the language we read from the old Andalusian documents. Everybody holding their own flag. You're looking at it like, God damn, why she light as hell, wait up. Probably Isabel and Kalanka. Look at these, a lot of these the black friars that, just like modern times, they don't want to deal with the Moors because they're really scared of the Moors. So they go through celebrities, they go through church preachers, the black friars of today, and they go through the bailiff in the courtroom. He always gonna be a black man if he in a majority of so-called black area. But that's how Rome deal with Moors, through black Christians, black Romans. They, like right now, they ain't getting, they ain't know how to try to get you to capitulate to taking a shot. So they just gonna put on your black radio stations, celebrities. When you go, if you go to church, they probably pay off the preacher trying to get you to do them. And the Sonic people, West Africa. You're gonna see that later. It looks like the same thing in America. That that type of brick. more as a way to represent nobility. Keith Steiner, Von Sack, Eberstein, Grafendahl, another A.L. That's a Moorish woman with a turban. You know, I look like your aunt. And it'd be in Europe walking down the street like, oh, look up, a black lady. These just be on the side of the walls and shit. And the Knights of Christ over his head. That's the same thing they had on the back of their bike. And they go in that church on the purge. They had the symbol, and they go and kill these people. Everything's still going on. It's just more covert now. They at war with you now. That's Washington D.C. now, and they covertly at war with you. The main weapon they use is why calling you black. That's the main weapon they use against most today. Another Pussy. Hey, the Pussy, we have the Pussy family always got. See, talking about it right there. Bell, Al. Is it even Ben, we know about Ben, Eben, Lel. Rock and Berber tradition. But they talk about the name, a name Cherokee. But they don't say that it got anything to do with Cherokee, but I understand phonetics, and I believe we do. Listen, a Cherokee, a Shriki. This one right here definitely look like Cherokee. But they didn't put Cherokee and American because everybody got under that spell of 1492, so they don't connect the East and the Western worlds. And Cherokee. When I first see this term, like that sound like Cherokee. Cherokee is Oriental, or Eastern, and Arabic. Well, that would make sense because the Cherokee is the tribe on the Eastern Seaboard, right? The name is widespread in North Africa, various due to the French influence, Cherokee, and that also makes sense because most of the terms that we using is the French version of the damn terms. They didn't make that connection, but I do. I try to go fast so I could have finished this up, but I tired talking. The Mexican city, Moorish city, Tecnolocton land, and in the record books they call it a Moorish array post protecting the Pueblo and a Moorish country flag, which is the double-headed eagle of the Moorish Holy Roman Empire. As you see, the statue, the Mulholland, and that famous Moorish statue in Germany. That same flag right there. But he find a treaties that they had with the Moors over here in the Moors of Andalusia, and realized that's how Spain get them. But in that, the treaty been buy and sell, but they had the Moorish military protecting it. The Huasheng Mosque contributed to the Prophet Muhammad's second cousin in Asia. I can't really see that. It say California. Medina Wasi, U.S. Army to the military, and I take that over. Probably make movies and to test before they go right up over them board in Afghanistan or something. Do training in this. And there's been a speech in the early United States, and they've been talking about, start off Egyptian, Carthaginians, Romans, Saracens. But what I want to get to, they talk about the emancipation of the Negroes in the West Indies, but then they gonna stop and say, it's so striking an instant as to remind us of the benevolent attempt to change the color of the Moor, recorded in Aesop's fable. So they know who you are. They can call you Negroes, but they know all Moors too, and they try to use them interchangeably with you. Just inside, see, what's the chairman? So they're talking in some kind of legal forum. You see, 3/5 of slaves and stuff like that. And the whole time they know exactly who you are. They just scared to be amongst you as that. They'll be amongst you when you ignorant, because you're doing what you're doing now. You're working for them. You follow their orders and do all kind of shit for wrong. Roman money is your god. So, California, a lot of it in the West, Arizona, California, everything out there Moorish. And people who study this architecture can see it. San Francisco Mission. All they do is take the temples and the Moorish and the mosques and put a cross on top of them. It's converted. Probably somewhere out west. In 1917, Islam Temple, Alcazar Theater, San Francisco. Another tomb in New Orleans. Imperial Purple was a luxury dye, so you know Guayaquil. That's where we were coming from in America. A purple stripe on the togas. You can see the Byzantine and Roman. Both empires. They be attributing this Moorish Empire to both of those. And you see how perfect these rivers are, so you know something up with that. sites leading to certain places. It's the Molly Al-Rashid, Sultan of Fez, King of Fez. It's something that I said in the last video. I said I want to get a picture and show you how he look. And so, just how he look. Like your uncle. King Garabito. La Malienke. We talked about her before. They make her, they demonize her, make her look like she's, that's just something. So maybe come back, we're gonna talk about the Marca. What that is. So that's gonna be the last part. And peace till next time.